Hi guys, this is Negla. I'm here with a monthly December reading for the feminine energies. It's going to be a wonderful month for the feminine energies. There's a lot of introspection, and it's going to be a good month for the feminine energies because, and I mentioned before in my previous channeling, is month of December is especially with the new moon in Sagittarius, is going to be an interesting time of honesty. But when it comes to, and I've just done the masculine energy reading, this month is going to be taking a little different perspective from the feminine side. It's like there's a different turn in the lives of the feminine energies going through the month of December. And it's a much needed turn. It really is a much needed turn. So and I'm gonna put the names of the decks that I'm using today in the description of the video. You're gonna see there are cards presenting the energy of what's happening with the healing perspective of the feminine energies. And again, feminine energies do not represent a specific gender, but it's mostly about the energy that we mostly identify with. And I have three wonderful cards for the feminine energies when it comes to the energy of healing for the month of December. I've also two different cards for the relationships and love connections when it comes to feminine energies. And I have one wonderful card also for careers, finances, and anything that is related to the material life for the feminine energies. It's interesting that the first card that I received for the feminine energies for the month of December is called Nature, and I'm seeing this card from different perspectives than just the idea of nature and connecting to nature and how we need nature in itself to give us that life force or that feeling of energy that's coming from nature around us. But this card, there's a lot of red color, and it's representing the more like the root chakra, or the part of our energy field that is responsible for our grounding and how our sense of safety or being grounded. And it's interesting because that card with nature in mind, and I'm feeling the connection here, and what the guides really want to say with this card um, is the feminine energies are starting to say to see things in from a nature perspective. And what I mean by nature is nature itself is very grounded. Like if you go out and you see a tree, for example, the tree is very much grounded to the earth. Like a tree really puts a lot of roots and really extends those roots, so it's always feeling a balance for itself. This card is about that. It's not about just nature as we absorbing nature, but this is about the foundations of life. And I have an intense feeling that I'm getting the guides are really emphasizing this for the feminine energy. It's about foundations. This card is about foundation and about our root chakra, about us feeling that we are so connected to the point that we don't feel weakness because we are not lacking in balance. So I don't know, the vision that I keep getting with this card is about a tree. It's about a tree that is really, really tall, and it's a very, it's not a weak tree. It's a very strong tree, and I keep seeing the vision that they're showing me right now is a tree with extending roots, um, like roots that are extended above ground and also below the ground. So the guides want the feminine energies this month of December to pay attention to that side of them. Is the roots, is our root chakra, our connection to foundations and creating foundations for our lives. So it's like, and it's just very relevant with the month of December because at the month of December we go through our own emotions and we go through our thoughts and ideas and decisions, and we look back and we look forward. And they want us to pay attention to what we're creating when it comes to the foundations of life, the material life that we're living right now. And it's not about the spiritual side of us, because this card, first they want us to pay attention to the life, the cornerstones of our life as we live, like food, shelter, jobs, children, responsibilities. It's as much as we want to live a spiritual life, but we also live a very physical life. So this card is about honoring that side of our physical connection to this earth. It's about us making sure that we are well balanced when it comes to um, how we set the foundations of our lives. And we all have, of course, different perceptions of what kind of foundations we want to have in our lives. But this is about us paying attention to that, about the feminine energies paying attention to how nature actually connects itself to earth. It's always grounding itself to earth. It's always making sure that it's fully connected to the cycle of life. And this is what is being asked of the feminine energies for this month, and what the guides want us to pay attention to. It was really interesting that the second card that came after it is the card called Love. In the deck, actually, which is interesting that this month everything's coming like that. No matter how many times I shuffle. The card Love in the deck itself, in this card deck, comes right before Nature. Like in the deck itself, they both, like love first and then nature. But in the reading, the foundation comes first, but then comes love. And the card Love really depicts the goddess Aphrodite. She's the goddess of love, beauty, fertility. It's that side of the feminine that is really, really very much representation of what the feminine energies are. The card has there's a lot of violet colors. There's water, there's sea, there's absolute, she's having peace with her surrounding, and she's having love. And really what this card and what the guides want the feminine energies to bring about in their lives is love. It's love to who they are and what they are. This card is about the feminine energies honoring love within themselves. It's again using love to help them deal with life's situations, life's challenges, but also through love they're able to connect to their crown chakra, which is again, it's the energy field that connects us to our higher self, our spirit guides, our connection to this universe. And that's why there's a lot of violet, because it really is telling the feminine energies the only way they're going to get guidance from this universe, just like nature. It's pretty much very much connected to that nature card. See, for example, plants and even animals and nature in itself connects to the universe through love. It's through that energy, the exchange between what they are and what's happening around them in the universe. It's not a connection through ego, it's a connection through love. And love is the strongest energy. It's actually the only energy that really is able to move mountains. It's love. And through bringing love into themselves, using love to connect with their outside world, using love to represent who they are as a divine feminine, then everything else will work itself out. This is where they should be making decisions. It's about honoring the love energy, the love force within the feminine, within the divine feminine. The third card that came for the feminine energy as well is called the card Innocence. And with the card Innocence, for example, there's those two little children, and they have this innocent moment of love between them, expressing love, and there's a home back there. So I don't know, this reading is so much about family life, and I've had almost the same thing for the masculine reading. So it's about family life, and the masculine is going to be different than the feminine, because the feminine are being asked to bring love into their lives, into their family lives, while the masculine energies, for example, and if you see the other reading, it's going to be about the masculine energies being impatient with their family lives, because this reading was mostly about masculine not honoring their souls and living lives which are not representative of their higher self. The feminine, on the other hand, are being asked and they're being guided towards love, to bring that love back into their families and bring love into their surroundings, bring love into their communication with this universe, because this is the only way they're going to find their own guidance system. Because it seems that what's happening. And this card is a representation of family and children and nurturing. Children represents our innocence, represent that side of us, or that inner child in us, um, needs to be honored and needs to be nurtured with love. So this card is really about the feminine, um, having that feeling of innocence and taking care of their families, taking care of their children or their inner child if they don't have their own, physical children, or they're not caring for other children. It is about honoring that side of the feminine, is paying attention to those sides of them that they need to bring innocence in their lives. And it's again, especially coming after the love card, it's a guide for feminine energies to bring love, because love is going to bring them back to innocence, is going to help them take care of their family, or take care of their responsibilities, and take care of what represents their own foundation in life. So it's such an interesting month for the feminine, because it's very different than the masculine. They're seeing things from a very different perspective in the month of December, even though we need to balance our masculine and feminine all the time. But really, sometimes for those with the mostly feminine energies, they have to see things from a different perspective, because the masculine is working on another perspective, and both of them are going to be complementing each other. When it comes to the love life and what's happening in December, the first card that came for the feminine is New Love, and I wanted to get one card, and two, I felt guided towards two. So New Love, a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So this card is about some of our feminine energies, or the feminine energies are going to be faced with love. There's my feelings with this is new love coming to life, and it does not necessarily mean that it's someone who is totally new. It could mean someone from the past, because I kept hearing the word reconciliation, someone reconciling, while I was picking the cards, while I was being guided towards cards. I kept hearing that word reconciliation, and I felt that maybe I'm going to get that card out, but it was not about that. I think it was about, it's mostly something from the past coming forward. It could be someone totally different, or the person you're currently with is going to become a much better lover, or a much better divine partner, a much better soulmate for you. But mostly I'm feeling that the word reconciliation keeps coming up. It came up a lot with this when I was getting the cards for the relationships for the feminine. So it's good news. It's good news for the feminine. The other card that came with it is heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. And I think it's just perfect with the idea of reconciling with someone from the past, or someone from the past coming forward, or someone that you already know coming forward, especially for the feminine energy, because it's going to be a time that you have to open up. It's time that the truth comes out between the connection that you have between you both. And it feels like, and this card has like angels watching over the couple, because what the guides want to say right now is this connection is divinely guided. This past, or that person from the past, or someone you already knew, is being divinely guided towards you, as you are being divinely guided towards him, or towards her, towards that partner. And I feel that the angels are really excited. It's something that they've been working on for such a long time, is to bring you both to actually start opening up and talking about things that you both have gone through. So the feminine energies in the month of December are being faced with some good news, something that they've been thinking about, or someone from the past reconciling with them, or actually coming forward with the truth. This is a month of honesty. This is a month of, especially with that new moon that came in Sagittarius, is about a month of honesty. So things that have been hidden are going to be coming out, and especially this card, heart-to-heart conversation, is the guys are telling you, do not hold back. because feminine energy, sometimes we tend to hold back our emotions for fear of expressing how we feel. But this is divinely guided connection. So the guides want you to actually fully open up, fully open your conversations with that person who is reconciling with you, or coming back into your life, because the truth has to be told. Whatever the truth is, it has to be told. So this is about the feminine energies honoring their hearts, and I'm feeling that the masculine, or the person coming into your life, is going to be willing to open up and share things that have never been shared before. So again, and I know I mentioned something in the masculine reading, and I don't know, this month both reading are so connected, because it's like they're speaking to each other. Mentioned something in the masculine reading that the feminine have to have patience with the masculine, and I feel this is coming to this reading, is having patience with the masculine, because they're going to be coming forward, and you have to allow them to speak their minds, speak their heart's truth, speak what they need to say. You have to allow them that. And at the same time, allow yourself to speak your truth as well, and speak everything from the heart. It has to be heart-to-heart conversations. This is ego being removed, and things being spoken out in the open. The interesting card that came for the feminine for careers and finances, Queen of Water. Tender-hearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition, care for yourself and others. It's like the guides wanted to emphasize the same thing. It's about relationships. And even though this is coming with careers and finances, it's a feeling more about how our careers or finances or our material life, and again, water, the Sword of Water in this deck is about emotions and deep hidden emotions, but this is a positive developments in our emotions, our what is hidden in us. And especially when this card being about careers, finances, it's about someone who's becoming more balanced in who they are. Our relationships are becoming more balanced. It's about our intuition actually leading the way right now. When it comes to our money, our finances, our moves, whatever kind of move we're making in our careers and our material lives, the changes that we're bringing in, we are making decisions mostly from intuition right now. And that's why everything's going to develop to a higher level. Even the relationships that you have at your work or your careers and finances is going to be developing into a higher level. But the other thing that's coming with this card, it's about family relationships. This is about family and the feminine energy doing something very different this time. It's about being a leader. This is leadership. This is real. Like, it looks like it's a rough sea. I mean, that's the way I'm getting from this card, and I don't know if you're able to see it, but I feel it's like a storm. This card has the sea really turning up. There are whales up, on the surface, and the angelic guidance is very vibrant in this card. This is about things being stirred up around you, but yet you're maintaining your full leadership to the situation because you're using your intuition right now. This is about the water here too, is representing turbulent emotions, or things are just becoming intense and becoming more out in the open. But it's good news for the feminine, because it's telling them that they're leading the way, the right way. Actually, it's nothing actually for them to be fearful of, because they're doing the right things, and that's why the relationships with everything around them is going to be at a much better state. It's going to be more higher self, because it's about reminding them to honor themselves and care for themselves first before taking care of others. It's again, as everything around us is stirring up in storms. It's not a bad storm. It's not like bad things happening. It really, a storm really meaning intensity. It means busy lives. It means that the feminine are going through all of this, but they're standing still. They're very much into their own power. This is a card about the feminine energies being into their own power when it comes to careers, finances, material life. This is about material life. It's not necessarily that they have to change careers or getting new jobs or anything like that, but it's mostly about our material life, which is everything around us. It's your home. It's having shelter, food, connections to your family, your children, siblings. This is about us being in a leadership position. We're no longer bothered by what's happening around us because we're fully connected to our intuition, fully connected to our hearts. Um, and that's really what I'm feeling with this card. I mean, I read cards very different than others. I really um, I feel cards more not on the message that really always comes with a card. Sometimes the message is exactly what the card means, but each card brings something, and you have to read the cards from your intuition. And and that's what I keep getting with different cards. Like, I mean, other people can read these cards with the traditional way or with the tarot way, and the guides will work with you with whatever you understand. But I think my guides kind of know I don't really follow too much of the rules, so I have to interpret cards the way I feel them and the way I see, either through um, the illustrations or what I'm feeling with it. And um, what's coming with the feminine energies for the month of December is very interesting. Um, So and the thing that is coming right now, and the guides want you to do is, if you're a feminine energy watching this reading, they want you to watch the masculine reading. And I don't know if if people watching those readings watch both the feminine and the masculine. I think most people do, and that's what most of them tell me. But if you're just going intending to watch just the feminine, I definitely recommend. And that's what the guys want me really to say, is that they want you to watch the masculine reading for this month, because both of them are going to be expressing things that you have to know. It's not just about you in your feminine and what's going with you, but they want you to see the other reading. And at the same time, if you're just as a masculine just watching the feminine reading, they invite you to watch both readings, because they're both actually having a conversation with each other. The readings for the masculine and the feminine for the month of December 2016 are both talking to each other. This is two sides of the coin talking to each other. This is a communication between the masculine and the feminine energies. It's the balance between both. And the guides want you to see both sides of the story. This is truly the message for us this time. And I hope I hope you, as a feminine energy, if you're watching this reading, that you enjoy a month where you're bringing things in a much different perspective. You've been working really, really hard, and the guides want you to honor what you've done so far and look at things from a different perspective right now, because things are changing really wonderfully for most of the feminine energies who are doing the work and spending time on their own healing. At the same time, if you're a masculine watching the feminine, again, it's your turn to understand where the feminine energies are coming from. So it's a message again for masculine watching this feminine reading, is to see where where she or he is coming from. Again, it's not a gender-based reading; it's an energy reading. So for the month of December, and I want to end this video by wishing everyone a good holiday season without the attachment to the craziness and the stress of the holiday season. Is to have a season of love and a month of December that is full of love for our feminine energies. With this, I hope you've enjoyed the reading, and I'll talk to you soon.